Hmm. That's a lot of text we got there. Yeah. Indeed. Perhaps. Is it happening again? Hold on. Apparently, yes. Hello, hello. Testing. That should be fine now. It's also possibly because my head was turned away from the mic. Yeah. Hello, everyone. Turns out, there is no such thing as a break. Heh. Jokes aside, after this stream today, okay, so hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Hello to Darren, Lilo, Kai, and Nut. Welcome, thanks for dropping by today. Jokes aside, my intent here today, right? Firstly, we're going to rate the teams. I'm gonna try and do my own tier list of the MPL squads before the season even begins. And before I do that, I'm gonna hydrate, courtesy of Darren. Before we actually start rating the teams as well, we will check out the roster reveal videos of some of the other teams, because some of the other orgs have gone and made actual roster reveal videos. Now, not every team has done it. In fact, the majority of teams still have not, right? Like, I think if we include SRGs, I could only find like 4. Right? I think I could only find like 4 roster reveal videos, including SRG, so unfortunately we still don't have all that many. The ones I found were RRQ, Bigatron, I think it was Bigatron, and Vamos. Those were the only other ones I was able to find, so I'm gonna assume that all of the other teams did not actually make a roster reveal video. But we will have a look at those first, and then I will do my rating of the teams. We will look through the rosters, we'll talk about the players and the lineups a little bit, and we will figure out how strong we think they're going to be, what are their chances for the next season. Now, my intent for the stream today is for it to be not very long. I'm hoping for this to be a fairly quick stream, because, as we all know, I'm supposed to be on break. And regardless of when this stream ends today, I definitely need to actually hold myself back from streaming next week, I think. Next week shouldn't have anything happening, right? Now that all the team rosters have been revealed, the schedule is out, the venue is out, there shouldn't be anything happening next week. So I really need to make sure that I'm actually taking a break next week, because I've just gone ahead and had 2 streams this week as well, like normal, which isn't exactly what the goal was, I imagine. I think they're all out, no? The rosters, yes, but the reveal videos, no. Like, as far as I can tell, like, I could not find Team Ray, I could not find IG, I could not find All Combo, unless YouTube's algorithm just wasn't being nice to me. But I actually asked you guys in Discord earlier, right? I asked you guys in Discord earlier if you guys could help me out by like looking for which teams actually had reveal videos and which teams didn't. Because yeah, I could only find like SRG, obviously, and then Vamos, RRQ, BTR, I think, if I remember correctly. So I don't know if you guys saw my message properly, but if you guys can, help me have a look now real quick as well Because I couldn't find the others. I don't know if they actually have roster reveal videos, or if they just have, like, I don't know, shorts on MPL or something like that. But yeah, so the goal today is to not stream for too long. I just want to rate the teams, right? However, there is another thing I need to ask you guys about, right? There is an additional thing that I need to get you guys' input on. Because as we're all aware, well, not all, but most of us, well, a specific subset of us are aware, Arknight's Enfield released 1.1 yesterday as well. Which means that there is new story, there is new game content. And as we know, I have been streaming Enfield story from start until now, like, all live. So I was just like thinking, fudge. What do I do in regards to that, you know? At first I was kind of like thinking, okay, what if I just rate all the teams and then I play Enfield? But then I'm like, but I'm probably not going to be able to finish the story tonight anyway. Like, I imagine it's going to take a couple hours at least to get through the story regardless. So I'm just like wondering, should I play the story off stream? Or should I wait until I'm done breaking and basically not play story until then? That doesn't really make sense either, because the story probably unlocks some stuff. And ideally, I want to have access to that stuff. You know, I need access to those resources. The new map. I believe there's a new map. So, you guys are saying to rest. If I do rest, logically speaking, it would mean playing the story of 1.1 off stream. And well, I've been fairly consistent so far with playing the main story from the beginning. So it does feel a little bit like, you know, it feels a little bit like, to not stream this part. Especially since it seems like there's a lot of Tang in it. And some of Mifu as well. And those are of course characters that we all like. Kai thinks I can play it off stream. Lilo says that's okay. I see. I really should have rested earlier, huh? I really should have taken a break earlier. You can also record it off stream, then what? Post it on YouTube? It's not like I've been posting the previous ones on YouTube. That would be a bit weird too. Just play it off stream? Guess so. If it really itches you, it's just me being, you know, like a little bit OCD-ish. It's like, oh, I played through the story from the beginning, so if I don't continue, then it's like, I will admit though, I have not been as active playing Enfield recently. Right? Like, there's been a bit of a content lull, right? Since the last, ever since the release of Enfield, there hasn't been a lot coming out until 1.1. So I have not been very active with my playing of Enfield. Like, I still log in every day just to do my dailies and stuff. But otherwise, I haven't exactly been playing it a lot. Let's just say. If anything, I've actually been playing more Zenless than Enfield. Which is curious. I wonder if the honeymoon phase of the game has already worn off. I thought that I'd be able to stick with it for longer. But now I'm starting to wonder, like, hey, have I actually already run out of the honeymoon phase? The dailies are very annoying. I do agree with you, right? Because technically speaking, you don't have to do everything, right? Like, obviously you don't have to do all your deliveries, and you don't have to like collect resources on the map. All of that is fairly optional. But even if we ignore all of that, there's actually quite a lot of clicking you have to do in Enfield, right? You have to go do your like stock redistribution, sell items in both Valley 4 and Wuling to get your money, visit people's ships to sell it, buy the stuff that you need every day, actually do your dailies where you like log in and level up characters or build gear or whatever. Compared to ZZZ, for example, I can finish all of my dailies in like 10 minutes in ZZZ. Not even. If I decide I'm lazy to spend my energy in ZZZ, it takes me like 2 minutes to do my dailies. Compared to Enfield, is like, oh, this is a bit of a chore, you know? So I will admit, I have been getting a little bit like, lazy to do Enfield. We'll see what happens since 1.1 is out and like there's more factory stuff to do again. Nut says I haven't finished Wuling yet. Good luck with that. Did you get Aria? No, I did not roll for Aria. I rolled for Yuzuha, as you recall. Right? I rolled for Yuzuha. And I did manage to get Yuzuha, so I'm quite happy about that. So now I have the Vivian Yuzuha Piper team, which I'm quite happy with. I've also been slowly playing through the Angels of Delusion story. Yeah, I haven't actually finished it yet because, you know, I've been playing more FF and everything. But I do like the Angels. I think they're a very fun group of characters. I was actually considering rolling Suna. Like, I'm not too interested in Aria, but I kind of considered rolling for Suna. I tried rolling a little bit for Suna to see if I could like maybe cheekily get her early. But unfortunately I don't have enough to guarantee her. And if I did spend everything on her, then I wouldn't have had enough for Yuzuha. And you guys already know that I've been waiting for Yuzuha. So I passed up on Suna for Yuzuha. And luckily I won the 50-50 on Yuzuha. So that means I still have some rolls left over. So now I'm thinking about who to roll for next, right? The characters that I'm considering most are Nangong Yu, because she's an Ether Stunner, which is interesting, or Lucia for Banye. Right? Those are the two characters that I'm considering right now. Because they're actually, I believe they're both coming out next patch. We have a bot in the chat, by the way. Mods, or mod singular, because I don't know if Gin is here right now. I barely play Enfield as well, just making sure to finish dailies and whatnot. I'm still more focused on Uma. Oh yeah, speaking of Uma, I logged in today for the first time in a very long time. Just to roll a little bit. I did 30 pulls. I logged into Uma today and did 30 pulls, including the free 10 pull. So I did the free 10 pull and then 20 extra pulls out of my own pocket, right? I got myself like I think three Machikane Townhouses in total, which is nice. I was hoping to get Kita-san Black. I actually did get a 3-star on my second 10 pull. I got a 3-star Uma on my second 10 pull. I think you guys can tell based on the way I'm saying it, I did not get Kita-san. I got Anime McQueen. Dupe. I got the white outfit McQueen for the second time. So, well. But, you know, they're giving out a free 10 pull every day, right? So I'll probably just log in every day to spend that to see if I can get Kita-san by the end. But I'm not gonna full roll for her, because we all know the banner that comes next. Right? We all know what comes after Kita-san. Cheerleader nature. That is what I'm gonna full roll on. Oh yeah, it's probably Diamond next, right? Not like, but Cheerleader nature is soonish. Maybe not directly next. I can't remember the precise order, but I remember that it was very close to Kita-san and Machikane. Yeah. Machitan. Yeah, that was the short form. Yeah, I remember like all the way back when I was actively playing Uma Musume and I was looking at the banners, I remember like Cheerleader nature is like almost right after the Kita-san black banner. I still remember that because I've been waiting for it. So yeah. That soon? It's been a while, Darren. It has been a while since we've been playing Uma Musume. It's been out for a bit already. 1 year anniversary for global, I think. Maybe, or at least close. I'm not gonna lie, I don't look at the calendar. Hey, to each their own, right? But okay, anyways, like I mentioned, I want to try not to stream for too long today. So let's go ahead and jump in, and we'll go ahead and start by actually watching the team roster reveals. It's 1 year anniversary, but in reality it's the 9th-ish month. Yeah, that makes sense. That kind of adds up to where I was expecting. Yeah, so I'm looking at the ones I see. It is RRQ Tora, Bigatron, Malaysia, and then there was one more. Yeah, Vamos and Vamos. These are the 3 that I've seen, and of course SRG, which we watched a few days ago. Did Dodo say hi to me yet? I don't think I did. Hello, Jero. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Okay, so let's start with the fun part of watching the team roster reveals. Let's see which team went the most all out in terms of roster reveal. Because as we recall, when we watched SRG's roster reveal, I think we can all admit it was a little bit underwhelming, right? I think we can all agree that SRG's roster reveal was kind of underwhelming. They did it very simply. They just got like a celebrity to sit down and open cards, which is, you know, it's basic enough. But if you're gonna go out of your way to make a roster reveal, it's gotta be a little cooler, you know. Darren bets that it's a Vamos, and honestly, I can see it being Vamos as well, because even before this, right, even before this new era of MPL MY, Vamos was always the team that put the most effort into their roster reveal video, right? Like almost every season, Vamos had the most intense roster reveal. In fact, a lot of the time, they were the only team to make a roster reveal, right? In MPL MY, we just don't have a lot of teams that do this. Vamos was basically the only one that actually put effort into a roster reveal video. The best in roster reveal is usually the one most likely to flop, just like TNC there. I guess that's one way of looking at it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and have a look. Now, I will note, RRQ Tora's roster reveal is 2 minutes long, right? You see that? 1 minute 53 seconds. Bigatron's is 5.5 minutes. So it looks like Bigatron also put in some pretty notable effort here, right? Like a 5-minute roster reveal is nothing to scoff at. So we'll go ahead and start with RRQ Tora, since they're the shorter one and they're the first one to pop up as well. They've got the most views, as is expected, since it's, you know, it's RRQ, right? The kingdom is gonna be looking to see who their latest additions are. Excuse me. I really wonder why I start sneezing when I'm streaming. It's not because I'm sitting here. I sit here all day when I'm working, when I'm gaming. But the only time that I start sneezing is when I'm streaming. and it confuses me. 6 minutes for Vamos, so I guess it's probably gonna be Bigatron and Vamos competing for who has the best roster reveal, right? But yeah, alright, let's go ahead and start things off with RRQ Toras. That's not the roster reveal. That's toothpaste. Okay, RRQ Tora's MPL MY Season 17 official roster reveal. Let us have a look at what the latest addition to the kingdom has done for us. Alright, cool. That's a lot of sponsors. Oh, that's a bit loud. Okay. Alright. We got the classic roster reveal style. Pretty good, pretty nice. And then we got... Where is Super Yoshi from? I forgot. But we got Gary here. Gary with the kingdom now. And he's got 2 R's as well, so it's very fitting. Then we got Kim. One of our more aggressive mid laners. We got Ruff in the gold lane. Now Ruff is gonna need to improve, I will say. As a gold laner, Ruff needs to improve. Then we got AJ here as well. I imagine he'll probably be the sub. I imagine Kim is probably the main player, but I do think that AJ has potential. He just needs a little bit more time to actually like play on stage. And then we got Dyron. I forgot which team Dyron was from. And we got Coach Sasa as well. Coach Sasa, Coach Link. Sasa aura farming. And here we've got RRQ Tora. Alright. Cool. I think it's a pretty well produced video. It's nothing too unique, you know, it's your typical sort of roster reveal where you show off all of the players, but at least it's edited well, you know. I kind of expect that if a team is gonna do a roster reveal video, they should at least do it like this. You know, I think that this is like the expected quality for a team roster reveal. Dyron was from RQ Indo, from RQ Hoshi, so he's been brought over to the other RQ branch. Okay. He fought SRG. Yeah, again, you guys are gonna figure out today that I just really am not that familiar with players outside of MY. I'm still very bad at keeping up with the other MPLs. The only players and teams that I really know are the ones that go international, right? So like Liquid PH. Obviously, I know all the players in Liquid PH. But if we're talking about all of the other teams, then I am just not familiar at all. Didn't you know Cram embarrassed this guy? 1-7-0 on Phobias. Well, I guess I know now. Hello Harsha, welcome. Finally, my favorite player of MPL MY got good org. I'm satisfied. Oh, who's your favorite, Harsha? Who's your favorite player? But yeah, honestly, pretty good. Pretty good video from RQ here. Very solid. But now we move on to the long ones. We got Bigatron's 5.5 minute roster reveal. We already think, okay, RQ's roster reveal's pretty cool, pretty nice. But what do you have to do to make a 5-minute roster reveal? Chiku, GI, okay, well, we're gonna be looking at his roster reveal now then with BTR. And I wonder if Mirko will support this BTR as well, you know? We all know how much of a BTR stan he is. The One Piece ad. Okay, let's have a look-see. We got Bigatron Malaysia by Vitality. Their official roster reveal video for MPL Malaysia Season 17. Jero says this roster looks like top 4 best. Wow, okay. I mean, top 4 is still not bad. That's like top half, right? Okay. Bigatron. The red robots arrive on the shores of Malaysia. Oh, they've got an actual like produced video. You kind of have to if it's this long.
Kayaknya bakal kangen deh
Oh,
lagi.
okay, storyline. It's Barbosa. I still remember when Barbosa used to play with homeboys.
Bentar bro, bentar. Ini dikit lagi.
Hey, look at that. It's Rasi.
Kalau sambal gua habis, gua minta punya lu ya, Gak?
Nggak mau lah, lu makanya bawa yang banyak dari sekarang nih.
Gua banyak bawa mie instan nih soalnya.
And we got Annabelle over there. This is a nice kitchen.
Ini gua udah kelar duluan ya, gua duluan ke mobil ya.
Oke.
Which team was Annabelle in last? I know he's been in a couple of teams, but I forgot which team he came from. We got Fakus. Fakus is back, dude.
Did you think that Jesse will be one again?
I don't know. Besides, there's nothing wrong.
We got Coach Kenji.
Woi, udah kelar belum? Udah mau berangkat nih?
Just give us a second.
Jumpa dengan orang baru ni rasa seronok juga kan?
Aku ingatkan awal-awal.
And we got Amzik and Smooth, which are very interesting
Tapi sayang
acquisitions.
Masa habis macam tu je.
Ya, masa rasa cepat sangat untuk kita menikmati nak momen-momen kat sini.
Tapi Barbosa tu dia bising juga kan?
Ya, berapa satu cerewet sangat tu. Sikit-sikit, ayo buruan, cepat mandi. Trainingnya jangan lambat. Packingnya jangan lama-lama.
Amzik's acting is a bit stiff.
Nama sekretar.
But well, he's still very new, so it's understandable. Hello, Willie. Damn, it's been a while, sir. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? That does look very cramped back there. What an interesting looking car. Where is the space for the
Keluar dulu.
I forgot the name.
Guys, kita
The
nggak bawa
handbrake.
semua barang ini, bawa yang esensial aja, biar semua orang punya cukup ruang buat bawa barang. Naya, Rasi, lu pada bawa apa aja nih?
Kalau gua bawa bekal makanan sih.
Gua takut kangen sama makanan Indo, Bar.
Nek, percaya sama gua, masakan Indonesia sama Malaysia sama-sama aja. Yang lu takut bukan karena makanan Indo, tapi kangen keluarga lu di Indo. Berat emang merantau, tapi jangan khawatir. Di sana ada kami yang bakal jadi keluarga kedua lu.
Damn, they're hitting
Guys,
deep.
Coach Kenji, kalian bawa terlalu banyak pakaian. Kuranginlah sedikit. Fokus sama pakaian yang bakal kita pakai di masa depan. Fokus sama pakaian yang bakal jadi identitas kita.
Okay, I can see what they're
Aku tahu
doing here.
pengalaman kalian banyak, tapi yang lalu biarlah.
A lot of experience. Amzik is still new.
Untuk tinggalkan masa lalu. Biar kita bisa
Smooth,
fokus
definitely
di masa depan.
though. Naya is Annabelle's old IGN. Oh, okay. I thought that was like his name or something.
Gue jadi cerewet kayak gini karena ini demi kebaikan tim. Dan gue yakin kita bakal jadi keluarga yang...
Oi Bar, kau nak yaping sampai bila ni? Jomlah kita masuk kereta.
So they've gone for the...
Macam ni
They've
kan
certainly
selesa.
gone for an angle.
Lah, yang buat sempit tadi kan barang korang semua tadi.
Lah tadi barang ni pun banyak juga.
Jom, gerak.
Jap. Kita macam tertinggal seorang lagi lah.
Yeah, someone's missing. Mr. Chiku guys.
Apa?
Where
Ya,
is
aku yang
Mr.
cakap
Chiku guys? They've specifically kept Chiku guys for last, huh? They know that he's the big boy.
Perjalanan yang seronok, bukan?
Betul, perjalanan yang seronok.
Aku faham perasaan kau. Bukan mudah untuk kita melupakan sesuatu perkara yang kita telah lalui dulu sama-sama.
Sejujurnya, inilah langkah besar bagi aku. Melihat apa yang aku dah lalui sehingga saat ini.
Yap, kita memang perlukan hati yang besar dan masa yang panjang untuk kita melupakan masa lalu. Dan kita juga perlukan keberanian untuk kita melangkah ke hadapan bersama-sama. Tapi, kau tidak berseorangan sebab kita orang di belakang ni ada sentiasa untuk mendukung kau.
It definitely sounds like Amzik is reading from a script a little bit. But again, he's new, so I don't blame him.
Okey lah, jom gerak.
And there's our boy, Chiku guys. Back in the goal lane as well. Oh, wait, do they have room? I guess they have room.
Jom, gerak.
they got BTR MY on the front.
Alamak, kereta habis minyak pula.
Aduh, lupa isi minyak cuy, sorry ya.
Tenang guys, baik habis minyak sekarang daripada kat playoff nanti.
Hai Biget Troopers,
Okay,
makasih
okay.
udah nonton. Jangan lupa like, comment, dan subscribe. Dan terus nantikan
And then they
konten-konten
got
selanjutnya di
the
Biget
girl
TV.
at the end,
Bye-bye.
of course. Alright, so they've definitely gone for the cuter angle. They've gone for the simpler, cuter angle on Bigatron's side. Nothing too epic, is more like relatable, more of just like some funny moments here and there. Alright, alright. What a convincing act, right? Very subtle roster, let the game do the talking. Perhaps. The last line. BTR MY has a roster on paper that could go internationals, but then against BTR. Also, this roster has most of them are MPL rejects or players who are past their prime. So I put them third. Third is still quite high. If you're saying that all of the players are rejects or past their prime, Jero. Those are like very... Those are pretty attacking words for a team that you rate third. The card is like their journey to playoffs. Man, the bigger choke meme is gonna follow them all the way here, huh? Yeah, lebih baik habis minyak sekarang daripada di playoff nanti. Okay, someone here also says like Amsik really talking like he's following a script. When introverts need to act, it's very funny. Yes, I think we can all kind of see it. If I can see it, I think most people can see it. But it's a solid roster. I think it's definitely a team that we need to keep an eye out for. Especially the question is, if Amzik and Chiku are both gold laners, who is actually going to be the main gold lane, right? You would think that it's Chiku because he's the veteran, but Amzik also performed pretty well and still has room to grow. So, who knows, right? Jero is harsh. Jero saying Chiku gold lane is past prime. Yeah, Jero's being called out now. I'll say that because their experience will carry them and their knowledge of the game, but their chemistry is the big question mark. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's a perfectly respectable opinion. Alright, lastly, we got our local roster reveal specialists. We can see that their thumbnail is even different from the others, because they don't even have the team on the thumbnail, and it's the longest one so far at 6 minutes. They even have, I don't know what, is this in Spanish? Because Vamos is in Spanish, right? I think so. It's the same language. So they're definitely the team that's the most extra out of everyone in MPL MY, which is appreciated, because we need teams like that. Chiku is gonna play Mage gold lane. I mean, he can. Lunox, you know, Lunox gold. Again, I'm surprised no one's really doing it. I feel like it's very viable. But alright, let us have a look at Team Vamos's roster reveal right after the ads.
Harga dia 1000 lebih je, tapi kualiti dia memang nampak premium dan rasa macam iPhone.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. That seems familiar. Could you do that? Are you allowed to do that? Hold on, we'll talk about that in a moment. All right, let's talk about Let's watch Team Vamos's MPL MY Season 17 official roster reveal video. It is the longest one out of all the other teams, and they've always been the one that go the furthest. So let's have a look-see. Vamos, you can't be doing that! Wait! Oh my god. Of course they're gonna do that. Wow, alright. You can... Film based on true story, okay. Man, Vamos is all... They have a fucking director!
This isn't just another season.
What the wait, hold on! Am I gonna get in trouble for this music? Will this music get me in trouble? I hope not. Wait, am I allowed to play this? You know what? As long as I just keep talking, and if I keep talking over the music, then it should be fine, right?
Every season, mesti ada cerita yang
So
bagus.
they've even got a
Sometimes
feature.
orang
They've got a
cakap
main
kita
character.
mesti slot. Ada masa, diorang kata kita tak layak pun pergi international. And sometimes, orang dah predict ending untuk kita.
Yep. Vamos has always been a very self-aware team. They're well aware that they're not exactly the most popular for various reasons. So it's good to have that.
Tapi, season ni cerita dia lain. People can say whatever they want. Beban negara.
It's a copyright-free song? Okay.
Strong enough? Ada
I
yang
will-
kata
I'll take your
baik
word for
kita
it.
je. Ada yang kata kita takkan pergi jauh. But they don't know our struggle. Because this season, we're not here just to be a background team of this league. We came here to write our own story.
Okay.
Kita datang dengan satu mission. Not just to be good enough, but to be the best team of MPL MY. And when season
Hopefully that
7
is the
begins,
case.
bila lampu stage menyala and the caster calls our name.
Hey, that's me. I got called out, guys. Caster.
Baru saja bermula.
Oh, look at that. Dude, they have a fudging set.
Welcome to our secret meeting.
Behind me right here, error 404.
He's back.
Or we
The
like to
boy
call him
wonder.
Bocil. Bocil ni budak nakal. Yang pula tu, suka ponting sekolah.
Dude, this is production value, man.
Tapi korang jangan silap, dia ni fast learner. Otak dia laju, cepat tangkap dan agresif.
Dude, they got production value.
For this mission. Next, kita
Hello,
ada-
Suya. Welcome to the stream.
Or we call him Nico. Nico dulu
So,
used to be
Natko-
a straight A student.
Oh my god.
Bila dia start mainan LBB, dia jumpa dunia dia yang sebenar. Dia boleh
So Natko is still around. I think Natko has potential, but he really needs to figure like flexibility.
Yang belakang Nico ni, orang paling gangster dalam team. Zorn. Or people call him Pak Cham.
Zorn's still here as well.
Pak Cham memang on top. Kalau orang tak dengar cakap,
They're
kau
using
confirm.
clips from the old roster DB.
Sejak dah berkeluarga, dia jadi lebih sabar. And now, his leadership and strictness makin menonjol.
Dude, I just found out that Zorn is younger than me as well.
Hacking are not the issue.
Man believed to be the mastermind of a robbery and housebreaking gang. Investigation department.
They got, dude,
Brain sangat laju.
dude's hacking.
Lagi laju. Otak dan ketegasan Shibi mempercepatkan the team progress. Next, we have the combo in the team. Zaki, Zen, datang dari jalanan. Hustling themselves untuk sendiri makan.
I am happy to see Zkif here,
Pandai berdikari.
but it also creates the question of like, is it Zkif or Zorn as the main roamer?
Boleh pecah. Mipo nampak potensial ni sebagai combo mawar. The chemistry, the
Dude, they're a fudging heist team. They're introducing them like they're going on a heist.
Klokun, aka
You know what? I appreciate it.
dalam team,
It's good.
Miscommunication, mistakes, dialah yang redakan keadaan. That's why ang penting. Kalau tak ada dia, agaknya dah lama gaming house ni run out. Kesian bos Hana. The analyst, the logical thinker, Mipo tak ada record. Tak ada past history of anything. Dia tenang bila orang lain panic. That's why he leads. Because in a mission like this, emotion is the weakness.
Dude, the production value actually.
Ya,
Zorn said Zkif is the main lineup? Okay.
kita last minute punya team. Tapi apa boleh buat? Last minute pun last minute lah. Tapi kita ada 3 orang lagi.
There's more. Wait, there's more? Did they reveal that already? Surely they would have revealed that already. Dude, they have behind the scenes and everything, man. They... Vamos continues to be the most extra team in our league. And you know what? You gotta love him for it.
Kita ada 3 orang lagi.
It's the rest of the coaching staff, isn't it? Because they only showed Meepo as the manager, so it should be the rest of the coaching staff. I'd be kind of surprised if they had more players, because I don't feel like I remember seeing more players in their roster. Alright, alright. Zorn should sit on bench to make it to playoff. The thing is, I feel like Zkeef can actually learn a lot from Zorn. Zkeef has a very similar playstyle to Zorn, and even Zorn himself acknowledged that Zkeef like had a lot of potential for maybe surpassing him. So now that they're on the same team, I think Zkeef can get a lot of like direct tutelage to really level up as a roamer, which I appreciate. Vamos is still alive? Yes. Yes, they are. But they also acknowledge themselves that they're a last-minute team. I think most people know this by now, but originally the slot was supposed to go to CG. Right? Like, CG was actually supposed to have this slot, but then some stuff happened. And so Vamos ended up taking it instead. So they even acknowledge that in the video itself. Like a movie? Yeah. Vamos knows how to make that. Yeah, it's always Vamos that puts effort into their videos and stuff. Budget is high. Agreed. Literally build a team in 2 days is crazy. Is that how long they built the team? I mean, it is most of the old Vamos, right? Like, most of the players here were in Vamos last season as well. So, they only needed to fill in some slots here and there. Like, I think the only, like, new player here is actually Zeno. Like, Zeno and Zkeef. Zeno and Zkeef are, like, the new faces. Everyone else was in Vamos before, so I think, you know. Okay, Jero says he has a spicy take for this roster, and he says, I do not like this roster at all. This is a roster that doesn't have much star power. For them to actually have a chance, you have to pick Chibi in, not Error 404, because he makes a lot of errors. I might sound like a Vamos hater, but this roster could potentially not make playoffs or barely make it. Rank 6, 7 for them. Wow. That is pretty spicy, pretty spicy. Don't worry, Vamos hate is allowed and welcomed, Kai says. Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like Vamos is that team that you kind of love to hate. They very clearly know that they play like the bad boys villain kind of role in MPL, and they've embraced it pretty notably recently, and honestly I have a lot of respect for that. What do you think about MAL teams having a chance to play at M8? I think we need to properly see how the process works, because I did hear about that, like the Champions Tour, right? I think it was called. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't really know how the process works. I would imagine that it's probably a slot to wildcards. I think it would make the most sense if it was like if like MAL and MDL teams played a tournament for a wildcard slot. Alright, because if they got a slot directly to the main stage, I would be a little bit confused. But if it's to the wildcard, then okay, you know what, that makes sense. That's kind of interesting. Why not? Especially since now that all of the MALs and MDLs are technically separate from their MPL, right? Like, up until now, MAL was still connected to MPL because you would have relegations and promotions, but now that we are a partnership program, there is no longer any promotion or relegation. The only way you go to MPL is if a team from MPL picks you out of MAL. So, in order for the MAL and MDL teams to still have a chance at competing in the international scene, giving them a tournament to compete for a wildcard slot honestly sounds like a good idea. But that's if that is the case. I don't know, right? So we will have to wait and see. Come on, let's see more teams. Unfortunately, Harsha, that's all we got. I don't think any other teams have a roster reveal. It is literally just SRG, RRQ, BTR, and Vamos. I do not believe any of the other teams have a roster reveal video, unfortunately. So I think that's all we got for today. And now we can actually move on to talking about the rosters. Hot take, but there isn't a lot of good gold laners in Malaysia. I agree. It's a harsh thing to say, but I agree. we're kind of lacking the qualities of a good gold laner. The best gold laners we have are the aggressive type. I still do think that Lolil is like our best representation. And then after him, the closest is... after Lolil, the closest would be... MelQT? MelQT Sky Z, I think, is the closest after Lolil. Oh yeah, Chiku! Chiku is also... I forgot about Chiku because he's playing mid lane up until now. Chiku is also solid. M6 not bad, but the consistency is not quite there. Also, it's been a while since Chiku's played gold, so I need to wait until he does again to actually see if he still retains that kind of quality. Because unfortunately, I don't feel like he's been able to maintain that same legendary gameplay that he was known for. Not gonna lie, in Team Ray, only Zayed is good. Hold on. Who's in Team Ray again? Let me go ahead and pull up Wikipedia. It's time to pull up Wikipedia because I'm definitely gonna be referring to it a lot. When we actually want to do the team ratings and stuff. Who else is? Siska! Yeah. No, you definitely forgot about Siska. I also forgot. I just don't remember the team rosters yet. Okay, so Team Ray consists of Zayed, Siska, Justgar, Martizi, Lolil, and Ivan. No, honestly, I think Team Ray's lineup is not bad, actually. I actually think Team Ray's lineup is not bad. Siska is obviously very good. But Martizi is actually a pretty solid mid laner. He wasn't playing last season because he was like continuing his studies and stuff. But he's back. Before this, Martizi actually had a very good mid lane foundation. One of the better ones, actually. And then of course they've got Lolil. We literally just talked about Lolil. I still think that Lolil is good. He just needs the right team. And then their coaching staff is... they got Saint the Lucas and Jifta Gaming. And then Caleb. I forgot where Caleb is from. Coach Caleb is from EVOS. Head coach Caleb is from EVOS. And then assistant coach Saint the Lucas is from TLID. Yes. Very solid coaching roster, but also not the most consistent because, as we all know, TLID had a very strong Cinderella run and then kind of fell off the map. Dude, I wish we got Siska and Geek. Honestly, I think having Yetri and Geek is also pretty good. I like, yes, Yetri is not as consistent and not as like flashy as Siska. But I do think that Yetri has potential. It's just another case of like, I think that we have a lot of players in MY who could actually grow into powerhouses. It's just that I unfortunately think a lot of our local orgs are not very good at maximizing it. I do think that a lot of local orgs are not very good at maximizing our players. That's why I was also hoping that like for this first season of the partnership program, we get to actually see the effects of having bigger backing, more resources, larger organizations, actually giving these teams the time, attention, and like training that they need to become world class. Why did Keeman not make it to MPL? I do know of some things that happened behind the scenes. Now, I don't have a direct answer for why Keeman is not playing this season, but I am aware of some stuff in regards to like him as a player. We also have to agree that he didn't perform the best last season with Untitled, right? So I don't know if it's because like teams didn't pick him up or if he himself chose not to continue. I don't know the answer to that, but I do know that some stuff did happen. Are you saying that local talent is not getting recognized or overshadowed? No. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that local players are not being given the right environment to grow, is what I'm saying. Because, like, I think we can all agree that for a very long time, MPL MY, you know, Malaysian teams have just not really kept up with internationals, right? Like, we've oftentimes just been not doing as well compared to other regions who have been around, like, for less time compared to us until SRG came around. Before SRG, we just couldn't really, like, fill up the top spots at all outside of M1. And part of that is because SRG is a, like, established sports organization. They know how to take care, of a sports roster, you know, an esports roster here. Having the right coaching staff, having the right, like, training, the right environment makes a big difference. So I think now that we have more international orgs, there's more of a chance for our other players to, like, maybe figure out what needs to be done, right? I think if SRG did not exist, EECA would overtake MY. Yeah, honestly, I think they would. I think they would have. So SRG has really saved this in more ways than one too, because I'm pretty sure that our other teams have slowly been trying to improve as well because of SRG's influence. In the past, when, you know, Todak was the king, I think a lot of teams didn't really bother chasing because it's kind of the situation of like, oh, we can't beat Todak, and then Todak goes to international and doesn't even perform well. So what's the point of trying hard since it seems like our region as a whole cannot keep up, right? If the team that beat the rest of us does bad on international, what does that make the rest of us, right? But ever since SRG has come around, I think there's been this sort of feeling where it's like an MY roster can do it, right? It is possible for an MY roster to really, like, show up on the international scene. What? What's happening? Why is everyone confused in the chat? Did the stream go down or something? The stream still seems up to me. Hello, can you guys still see me? It went down? Dude, stream has been weird. The timer reset? Oh shit, you're right. What the fudge? I thought it was YouTube that was having issues. Apparently YouTube was okay. Twitch went down. Huh. Interesting. Anyways, let me go ahead and get the tier list set up for our new season. MPL MY. Actually, hold on. Let me. Oh no, I want to make a reusable one because I'm definitely going to be reusing it. Okay, so MPL MY S17. And got mobile games. And we'll just grab the MPL logo. Hold on, where did I keep the MPL logo? I don't remember where I put the MPL logo. Excellent. You would think that I would keep that somewhere. That's a little easier to... Oh, here it is. Okay. Alright, MPL logo. And then I will grab... I already prepared this earlier before stream started. I went and grabbed all of the logos for the teams this season. So here they are. Default. Okay, there we go. Let's do imports and teams tier side by side. What do you mean? What do you mean, Harsha? Alright, so let us properly look through the teams. Ooh, excuse me. Let us go ahead and properly look through the new rosters of MPL MY this time around and talk about what we think will happen for this first season of a new era of MPL Malaysia. What about Flash? We'll go through them one by one. Let's go through them one by one. Jero's ranking though seems to be SRG, All Combo, BTR, RQ Tora, Team Ray, Invictus, Vamos, Flash. Flash at the bottom, huh? Quite something. Okay. We'll go through them one by one. Let's go ahead and just go through them in the same order as we have down here. Which means that we will go ahead and start with All Combo, AC Esports. Is it AC Esports? Yeah, it's AC Esports. So here we go. We got the AC Esports roster, which consists of Momo, Mpl, Izanami, Kusei, Witty, Yips as a sub. I think he's a new player. And then we got Coach Adi and Coach Long. Coach Adi was previously part of Onyx. Yeah, part of Onyx ID. So pretty notable coach as well. Again, you guys are gonna realize I really don't know much about coaches outside of MPL MY. Heck, even local coaches I'm not too familiar with. So you will have to forgive me for that one. But if we look at the players themselves, this is honestly a very solid roster. Alright, if we go through them one by one, Momo is one of the best EXP laners in Malaysia. And I think we can quite safely say outside of Cram has been the most consistent EXP laner in Malaysia for a very long time. So already, that is a very strong lane for All Combo to play off of. Mpl in the jungle provides a very flexible role. In the past, I would have said that Mpl has a bit of trouble keeping up with other junglers, even here in MPL MY. But I think last season and the season before, like the recent 2 seasons, Mpl has really improved. I think he's really stepped up to the plate. He has one of the biggest jungle hero pools out of any of our local junglers. Right? He can play assassin jungle, he can play tank jungle, he can play fighter jungle. And while I wouldn't say he's the best at any particular, he's very much a jack of all trades. Right? I think Mpl is a very strong jack of all trades, which works well with Momo because I think that Momo also has a solid hero pool. Then we got Izanami, who as we all know is a great shot caller, very good pillar in the mid lane. I think that he will benefit a lot from the mage changes that we got in the recent update. Right? Because he does like to play more damage style mid laners, but takes on more of a supportive role with it, but carries if necessary. Heroes like Lunox are still viable, heroes like Eve and Farsa are still pretty solid, so Izanami will be able to work well there. Then we got Kusei. Now I do think that Kusei has a little bit of work to do. He's a farming type gold laner, right? Kusei is very much a farming type gold laner. You know what? To make this easier to look at, because Wikipedia is a little bit small, let me go to the actual MPL Malaysia page so that we can look at the team roster pictures so that there's something nicer for you guys to look at. Where is All Combo? Right here. Okay, so yeah, I think Kusei needs a bit of work because he's a very farming oriented gold laner. He typically only starts joining fights once he's got 2 or 3 items. I think that he's good at farming, but he's also not the fastest. And he's not very good at being aggro in lane. He is definitely not the type that wants to take lane control. So that is something to keep an eye out for, right? That means that the gold lane might lack a little bit of pressure compared to the rest. But Momo is the type that wants to win his lane. Mpl is the type that wants to rotate. Izanami will typically move around as well, so they should be able to make up for that. But since we all know gold lane is quite important in the late game, Kusei will need to step up. And then we got Witty. We got Witty from TLID, right? If I remember correct. Yeah, TLID. As we all know, recently TLID has not been doing the best. And he was actually even inactive, apparently. We know that TLID as a whole was a very aggressive style team, so I would presume that Witty's gameplay style is still leaning towards the aggressive side, which can work. I think the potential of a Witty, Mpl, Izanami mid trio is actually quite strong, right? One of the things that makes SRG stand out the most is that Krem and Innocent hold their lanes incredibly well, and then their mid trio is very good at filling in the gaps. Here we have kind of the makings for that, right? Momo is obviously a strong laner. Kusei, we'll see whether or not he has improved, because I think we can all agree that having lane priority is important even in the gold lane. Mpl, Izanami, and Witty have a lot of potential for working well together, because while I think Witty is probably the most aggressive out of all of them, if they can figure out that chemistry, there's a lot of things you can do. Witty could play on a more aggressive style roamer, while Mpl plays more of a tank roam. Izanami fills in with the damage and artillery, right? I think because there's a strong amount of hero pool potential between these three, all combo has pretty solid chances. And then we got Coach Adi as well, who is definitely a fairly accomplished coach. Long also is quite smart with the way that he likes to draft now that he's back in Malaysia. It's been a while actually since Long has been back in Malaysia, so I'm quite happy to see him here. I do agree with Jero. I think that all combo actually has a lot of potential overall. You swept SRG back at M6, remember? You have to make use remember that. Yes. Izanami, have I seen him before? Izanami has been with Homeboys for quite a while. He has been the Homeboys mid laner for a very long time. Jero Yums has to face Witty Party Chip. Maybe, maybe. Now, I think that all combo will probably be more of a teamfight style team. Slightly leaning towards early game aggro teamfight. I think their gameplay will probably be Witty opens up map, roams around with Mpl and Izanami to try and take control early. Momo tries to either sandbag or win lane to join them for neutral objectives, with the goal of buying as much time for Kusei as possible, and then they will come online around the mid game and start death balling. That is my prediction for all combo style of gameplay based on the way that these players like to approach MLBB. Now again, it's been a while since the last season, so we don't know if any players have changed hero pool, changed gameplay style, all of that, right? I am purely making predictions off of what I previously know about these places, but I think it's a fairly safe bet that they'll play the way that I think. And I think it's a very solid style that works well with the current meta, so I do have pretty high expectations of all combo. Isn't Kusei yes, Kusei is Filipino. He is an import. The two imports on this team are Kusei and Witty. Kusei from PH, Witty from Indonesia. Yeeps is a new face. I don't know this guy. I'm gonna assume he came from MAL or something because he doesn't have a Wikipedia page. Did I say I like him before because he looks happy and also witty? I will say Izanami is normally not this happy. He has a tendency to be a little bit stern in some of his pictures. Sometimes he's happy, sometimes he's stern, but I will say I have not seen him smile like this in a picture in a while. I'd say Izanami is second best mid laner behind Stormy, you mean? Do we have any other good mid laners here? I would say in terms of consistency, I agree with you. If we're talking purely off of consistency, I think yes, Izanami is right behind Stormy. But I think that other players have higher highs. Izanami sometimes drops the ball. But all combo in general seems pretty strong. Hold on, where's my tier list? Wait, hold on, I'm opening all the wrong pages. Okay, here we go. So I would put all combo quite safely in A. Alright? I will maybe readjust the rankings a little bit. You know what? Let's change these. Champ level. You know what? I'm just gonna do this in advance. I think we all know. Champion contenders. Solid squads. I'll just use the same kind of like ranking schema that I like to use. Dark horses. Needs to show their potential is what I will say. I won't say any team is straight up bad because we never know what's going to happen. Izanami's previous team coach said, I am making him like Rins because I coach RQ. Ah, okay. The other mid laner is Kim. Now, Kim, Izanami is the more support mid laner. Kim is the more aggro mid laner. That's how I would separate them. The last category, here to have fun. That's a funny one, yeah. Okay, so next up we got Bigatron Malaysia by Vitality. This is also a very interesting squad, right? So we got Annabelle. Where was Annabelle previously? Like, what was his last team? Let's see. Annabelle was... He was BTR, but then he got loaned out to Rare Atom. What is a Rare Atom even? Oh, right, China. And then before that he was EVOS. Yeah, I remember Annabelle when he was playing in EVOS. I remember, actually no, I might remember him when he was playing with Bigatron as well, early on. Because I do remember the name Annabelle. I remember that like he was quite good at playing aggro jungle, like he liked to play assassins and fighters if I'm not wrong. So that's pretty good, but we haven't really gotten to see a lot of him in a while, so it's gonna be curious to see how much he has grown overall. Annabelle is underrated, Baby Water says. Yeah. Interesting to see Chiku and Smooth in the same team. Yeah, these are two of our veterans actually. Well, a lot of us call Chiku a veteran, but Smooth is actually a different level of veteran. Because Chiku has been around since, what, season 6? I think Smooth has been around since a couple seasons before that. But they're definitely both veterans. So obviously, we were talking about Annabelle. Strong aggro jungler, he has a lot of potential, his hero pool is solid. But we need to see how his chemistry is going to be with the rest of the team so far, because he has never played in MPL MY before. We know Amzik, of course, shocked all of us with his performance last season as part of CG Esports. Actually went to M7 as a rookie on his first season of MPL. His gameplay is solid, but his hero pool was the big issue. As we all remember, he could only really play certain gold laners, namely Granger and Harith, and he was usually more of the farming type as well. He tried to trade in lane, but he was definitely more of the farming type that wanted to come online late. If he was able to snowball late, he really does well, but if he's not able to snowball late, you can see that he has some difficulty. But we don't know if he's gonna be on the main roster, because we have Chiku back in the gold lane as well. This gives Bigatron a lot of options for how they actually want to approach things. If they want to train Amzik and give him more time to shine, they definitely can, since MPL MY is now going to be 8 weeks, right? It actually gives you a lot more opportunity to learn from what went wrong, since you're actually going to be facing every team 2 times, right? You're going to be facing every team twice. So having subs this time around may actually be good in order for you to adjust things the next time around. We all know Chiku, the legend himself. He's got a massive hero pool, but I will say, his performance in the mid lane last season left a bit to be desired. I think we can all agree with that, right? Chiku's performance last season was not what we were hoping for from the man after not being in MPL for so long. He made a lot of uncharacteristic miscalls, and there were times when CG Esports as a whole was just not well coordinated. So we'll have to see if they're able to fix that up. Then we got Smooth right next to Momo. This is also one of our most consistent EXP laners of all time. I put Smooth and Momo in the same category of mainly being sandbag style EXP laners, but able to play aggro if necessary. But I do think that Momo is a slightly better aggro EXP laner compared to Smooth. Smooth is very good at controlling EXP though. He doesn't usually win EXP lane, but he will usually make sure he doesn't lose EXP lane. And that can help a lot here, since I think Bigatron is currently leaning towards more of a farming style team. Right? I think Annabelle, Amsik, Chiku are more of the mid-lane, mid-game come online sort of player lineup. Then, hold on. Innocent said Amsik is Truman Granger, right? Truman Granger Esports? Yes. CG was the cheesiest team I have ever seen in my life. A little bit, actually. Yeah, some of you guys were wondering about Fakiz on BTR, because yes, this is not Faker, this is Fakiz or Fakiz. It was always kind of difficult for us to pronounce his name. He's actually been in MPL for a long time as well. He used to be a member of Team Bosker all the way in 2020. Hold on, that's actually cut off. You guys can't see. Hold on. Yeah, used to be a member of Team Bosker around the time I started casting MPL, actually. Fakus was with Team Bosker, then he moved to SMG, and then inactive in MV, Monster Vicious. He was with Games My Kalantan last season. Or, wait, no. Season before last. Wait, no, last season. Right, I'm getting things mixed up. But he has been around a long time. I would say Fakus is more of the support type mid laner as well. He's similar to Izanami, but with a little less, but with slightly less results to his name. And as we all know, hasn't really played the most consistently at MPL. I think when he, even with Games My Kalantan, there was a different mid laner that was in the main roster, right? Who was it? Maima, yeah. Maima was there instead. Fakus was a sub. So he has not played an MPL in a while. He's got a pretty long tenure, but I wouldn't say he's ever really achieved anything too notable. So that is a bit of a question mark in the mid lane for me. Is BTR MY a team gonna prio Granger every game? Well, if Chiku is in their main lineup, then probably not. And then we have Rasi. Definitely more of the aggro type. Right, so Rasi is the aggro type roamer. We all remember that from Untitled. He likes to make things happen. He likes to walk in front. He's got a pretty solid hero pool as well. One of the few players that can play glue roam fairly consistently. Knows how to make space. Likes to play around the mid lane as well. Previously, Rasi and Stome had a very good synergy. And then they worked well with Siska as well, who would dive the backline if they engaged from the front. The problem is, Rasi has never played with anyone else on this roster before. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think so. A lot of the players here have never actually played with each other before. So even though a lot of them have storied tenures, the chemistry is a very big question mark. And a lot of them are players that have potential, who definitely have the skill, but have not been the most consistent about it. Then of course we have Coach Barbosa and Coach Kenji, who are... I still remember Barbosa when he was a player, but I forgot where he coached previously. Where is... Oh wait, no, I closed it. So Barbosa was in... Yeah, was with Bigatron already as a coach. Was with the Niners as well. Yeah, I remember that. He played with the JP Niners for one season. And then Kenji was with Monster Vicious, actually. I completely forgot he was here. Oh yeah, now I remember when I recognize this image of Kenji. He looks a little bit different now. Yeah, I recognize this image. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Bigatron has potential, but I cannot predict how their gameplay style is going to be. Because genuinely, I have no idea how these players' playstyles are gonna combine. Some of them I haven't had the chance to really watch in a while. Some of them I'm familiar with, but haven't been the most consistent. I am not able to put them particularly high. I don't know if I can put them too high, but at the same time, they do have star power like Chiku, right? It's a bit hard to put them too low because of Chiku. But personally, just in terms of rating, I might actually put them here. I might bump them up one rank, but right now, I'm gonna put them here. Which is actually kind of common for Bigatron. I'm gonna put them here. There's a chance I'll push them up, but it depends on how I rate the rest of the teams. It really does depend on how well these players actually mesh together. They have the skill, they have the experience, they have the hero pool, but can they work together? Right? Because Annabelle is more on the aggressive side. Chiku is aggro, but not quite in the same way. Smooth plays a slightly safer EXP lane. Fakas is a support style mid lane, and then Rasi is an aggro roam. So I don't see as clear of a direction as compared to when I was looking at all combo. Thing is, who is their captain? Their captain is gonna do most of the heavy lifting. True, we don't know that. We don't actually know the captains of most of the teams yet. Unless they mention it. Hold on. MPL MY S17. Let's look at the website. Maybe they mention it on the website? No, looks like they don't. They do not mention who is the captain. I guess we can only find out once the season starts then. But yeah, I will put them down here. Okay, next up, we've got Team Flash. No longer Singapore. Officially moving over to Malaysia. And now, this is a question that a lot of us have been asking. Do the Singaporean players count as imports or locals? If I am not wrong, I believe they actually count as locals. Which is a little weird, but at the same time understandable because, well, Singapore is right next door. So it means we will most likely be having Hades, Curtizi, and Diablo on the starting roster. And then I think the remaining one will be SkyZ and Razin, I think. Now, from what I have heard, Team Flash's lineup was a little bit last minute as well. Or actually, no, not really last minute, but let's just say they had some difficulty cobbling players together. And then we have Coach, I can't read. Coach Arance and Coach Nobody as the coaching staff. There are a lot of unknowns here, particularly in the jungle position. So I think we first have to talk about that. Let's close my other Wikipedia pages. Open up Team Flash. So Riz is from Malaysia. He looks to be a new player, but I do remember the name Razin. I just can't remember from where. MLVB Razin. MPL MY. Because I'm pretty sure Razin has played. I feel like I remember the name. He might have been on an MAL team. Actually, there's a chance he was on MAL. Hold on. Razin MAL. MLVB. MAL Malaysia. Is he on here? I'm gonna use my search because that's the easiest way. Hold on. Razin. Is he here? He's not. Unfortunately, they don't really have the most information. I think that Razin and Riz are both from MAL. I do remember the name Razin though. I feel like he actually did do like pretty good. I just don't remember which team he was on. It might be Ryzen. No. I know there's a player named Ryzen. I'm talking about Razin. I'm pretty sure I've heard his name somewhere. I just don't know from where. Razin, MLVB Malaysia. Nakano Razin. Yes. Hold on. Wait. He was from Homeboy Syndicate at one point. Unfortunately, I can't really track his progress because, well, he doesn't have a page. It looks like he was with Homeboys though. I'm pretty sure this is the same guy. I don't know where he went after that. But I do have recollection. You can see here, Fake as was with Games My Kalantan in season 3 as well. But yeah, he is mainly a MAL player. I'm pretty sure Riz is probably new as well. But it does mean that Team Flash has very new junglers. Now, I believe Razin was not too bad a jungler in MAL. But there's a very big difference between MAL and MPL, as we've already seen. And especially this season around, there's a lot of new faces, a lot of new chemistries, and it's kind of hard to tell whether or not new players will be able to keep up. SkyZed's okay. I do think he's still one of the better gold laners that we have. He's quite good at ego challenging in lane, but he also has a tendency to overextend or underextend. He's unfortunately still a bit inconsistent as a gold laner and requires the team to really set up properly for him. And sometimes he can solo carry late game, sometimes he can't. He was able to get like what, 2 Savages 2 seasons ago? When he was still part of DX, right? When Untitled was still DX Soul. SkyZ can carry late game, but it really depends if he has the right hero, if he has the right setup, and if his team can play around him. So that is a little bit conditional. I am very happy to see Diablo in Malaysia. I really want to cast for Diablo because this man is fun. But Diablo has hero pool issues. He is known for aggro EXP, but on the flip side of the coin, he only really excels on aggro EXP. He wants to play like fighter EXP laners like Yuzong or Benedetta or Lapu Lapu or that sort of thing. And while some of those heroes are solid, it does mean that he's not as consistent on sandbag style. If his team wants him to adapt and go on like Uranus Esmeralda instead, then he doesn't perform as well. He's still solid enough, but it means he doesn't hit the peak of his potential. Then we got Hades and Curtizi. Hades going back to the roam position as well. Curtizi is a very interesting mid laner. I do think that Curtizi is interesting. He's got a little bit of that Stormy blood in him because he plays very, very unusual heroes in the role. And again, I think that is fun. But it also means that Team Flash has largely been a little cheesy. Right? I think we can all agree Team Flash's gameplay is a little bit cheesy because of the heroes that Diablo and Curtizi like to play. And then you got Hades in Rome. Now, I talked to some people and they told me that Hades apparently did used to play Rome before he became jungle. But it doesn't seem like he is... Or at the very least his history doesn't seem to show it. It shows that he was mid lane before. So now I'm not too sure. When did Hades become Rome? I've never seen him play Rome. I got told by I actually talked to someone from Team Flash, and they said that Hades used to be a roamer. But now that I'm looking at him on Wikipedia, it's like, when? I guess I have to confirm with them again. I mean, Hades is a solid enough jungler. I think he can probably make the swap if necessary. But unfortunately, I may have to agree with Jero in that this team is largely unproven. We love Diablo, we know SkyZ has potential, we know Hades and Curtizi can pick up slack when necessary. But the chemistry is largely untested. And then you got 2 very new junglers who've not had MPL experience at all, basically. And then for the coaching staff, Coach Nobody is someone we're familiar with, but once again, I don't remember the team before. AP Brand, and then before that, Homeboys. Yeah, I remember him because he was here in MY at one point. And then, oh, Coach CJ, he changed his name. He was with Team Ray before, now he's with Team Flash. Okay. Yeah, I might have to agree with Jero. I feel like Team Flash needs to show their potential. Like, I can see how they might be able to do interesting things. Like again, the hero pools of some of these players are quite unique, and that makes it very fun because you never really know what they're going to pull out. But if we're looking at consistency overall, I have doubts. Hades did play Rome. Go to Hades' Wikipedia. I did though. I literally went to his Wikipedia. And we can see here, it's all jungle and then one mid lane. Unless like it's even further back. Aura PH. Former. I don't know where I'm looking. Go to 2022 timeline. Timeline 2022. Hades. Right here. Does it show his position? Scroll up. Here then? No, that doesn't show role. Oh, here. Hades jungler. Here. Hades jungler. I don't see Rome. Oh wait, Dark Striker says. Yeah, I don't see a Rome. I am going to need to ask the Team Flash people again because there's actually no record of him playing Rome. But yeah, because of all these factors added together, I am going to put Team Flash at the bottom as well. I just have no clue how they're going to perform. Okay, next up we have one of the new names, one of the shiny new names. Invictus Gaming. We got Coach Bam, which was with Red, right? Yeah, Coach Bam was with, no, well, not Red, Arrow Esports. And that means that he's still going to be on the same team as Hazel, which is good because I think that Coach Bam understands how to draft properly for Hazel. We got Coach Jess as well, who was with Homeboys before this. I think on the same season where we were all saying that Coach Erpang was doing very good in drafting. So already I have a lot of faith in this coaching lineup. This coaching duo, I think, has a lot of potential. I have very high expectations of Coach Bam and Coach Jess together. Then we got Gojess being loaned out once again in the EXP lane. Very much an aggro EXP lane type. However, the last few times you've seen Gojess play, he has not been able to perform as well as we'd hoped. Right? He has been sitting on the SRG bench for quite a long time. It doesn't seem like he's been able to improve on his gameplay a lot as a result of that. So that is one thing to worry about, but he is the aggro type, which works well with Hazel. Because we all know that he is also the aggro type. He likes playing assassins, he wants to invade, he wants to pick up kills and snowball as fast as possible. That was kind of the goal of Arrow, playing more of a death ball in the mid lane. Then we got Spencer. Do I know Spencer? Do we remember Spencer? Invictus Spencer. Also an import. He is from... oh, Dewa! He's from Dewa United. So, not a particularly well-known import as well. Okay, okay. Yeah, if that's the case, I don't have a lot of information about Spencer, I will say. I don't know what his playstyle is, because I really don't know how Dewa United even plays. He played 2 games in MPL. Oh, so he's part of their MDL team. Interesting. Okay. MDL mid laner. Now I will say that MDL player quality is not bad, but if he's from MDL, I'm going to assume he's also aggro type. I'm just going to assume most of the time Indonesian players are aggro type, because you know that's kind of how they play over there. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have a lot of information about that. We got Nova. I got Nova X Kobar, who did pretty good with Monster Vicious, but I do think that he also has some slight hero pool issues where he's not really aggro type, he's actually more of a support type roamer. Right? He's more of the protect the team, open up maps slightly, but doesn't go out of his way to really set up plays unless the situation creates that opportunity. I feel like Nova has not been as aggressive as I remember him being back in the day when I was a big fan of his style of like team fighting. Now it is also possible that it's because a lot of the team fighting roamers have not been very good recently, Tigreal for example. But I feel like Nova has not been performing compared to what I was hoping from him. Right, so that is also one thing to keep an eye out for. MPL is good. I like MPL, very much aggro style gold laner. We don't have a lot of good gold laners in Malaysia, but the few that we do are aggro style, right? Lolil, MPL comes to mind. SkyZ a little bit as well. Ruff is also very aggro, but I'll talk about Ruff when we get to his team. This is Hades playing Roam. Hellcat Roam, he played Kaja Roam. Okay, isn't Mel just your typical MM player? Well, he is the ordinary marksman, right? I wouldn't call him like a typical MM player. He is very much aggro. He likes playing aggro style. He prefers to win lane if possible, and he will often join team fights. But he is the type that's capable of making solo plays as well. He won gameplay of the season like 2 seasons ago with that Harif play under the tower. Remember that? I still think that MPL is a very solid player. This means that Invictus Gaming has very aggro style side lanes. Right? Gojes and MPL are aggro style players. Jero says that Spencer is more of the util side. So that means the side laners are aggro. The mid-roam duo is util. And then Hazel is also a little bit on the aggro side. I feel like Hazel does the best though with a roamer who's able to like walk into the enemy jungle and be annoying. Right? I think Hazel will perform the best if he's given an edge over his opponent, and that means having information on his opponent and knowing when he can invade and really mess with the opponent. I'm wondering if Nova is capable of doing that, because he really doesn't invade much. Like, Nova is not the type of roamer that will literally like just walk up in your face and spend like 10 hours in your jungle making sure that you have as difficult of a time as possible. He's very much like wait and see kind of player. I think he's a more reactive roamer, which worked well previously, but not too much these days, and I'm hoping that Nova has improved. Like a JP, the war type of roamer, yes. I think Hazel works best with a JP style roamer. And unfortunately, I don't think Nova is a JP style roamer. They could maybe make up for it with Gojes, but that's a bit hard to say. And then we have Kaden as well. Kaden was with Team Ray, right? If I remember right. Kaden. No, wait. Was he? No, wait, no. Was he with Homeboys? I think he was with Homeboys. Yeah. Kaden was with Homeboys. He played for a short while with Homeboys, if I remember right. Yeah. He was okay. He is capable of playing aggro roam though. So maybe if they pair Kaden up with Hazel, there's more chance of him being annoying, because I know that Kaden used to play like Khalid. But I feel like Nova's probably on the main lineup. Yeah, we already saw Kaden is a sub as well. The only way I knew Kaden was him playing DJY at his prime. Ah, yes. I have some recollection of that too. So, where will I put Invictus Gaming? Unfortunately, I will also put them kind of lowish. I'll put them like alongside VTR, I think. I like the coaching staff, but the players need to prove their potential. I really like the coaching staff, but the player lineup needs to be proven. I feel like some of the chemistry might be missing. So, yeah, I think we can go with that. Next up, Team Ray. Okay, let's talk about Team Ray, because I think this team has a lot of potential. So as we've already pointed out, we got Coach Jifda Gaming, who used to be with SRG and then switched over to... Which team did Jifda Gaming switch over to last season? I forgot. Arrow, was it? I think he was with Arrow. I might be wrong. And then we got Coach Saint DeLucas, who was with... I literally just looked him up earlier, and I've already forgotten. And Coach Caleb as well. TLID, right, thank you. Yeah, TLID and Evos, right. Yeah, so coaching staff here is pretty solid. Pretty solid coaching staff. And then we have Lolil, still one of, if not the best gold laner in Malaysia. Aggro style, but capable of playing a safer farming style if necessary. Zay is probably sub. He's okay, but I think he still needs more experience in the mid lane. We got Ivan, very much aggro style roamer, but an interesting subtype of it, which is a pick off team fight style aggro roamer. He worked very well with Izanami because Izanami knew how to make the calls and play around anytime Ivan made an initiation. And he also worked well with Vel when they used to play with homeboys because they both like to play pick-off style, which meant that they could go for multiple angles and play very skirmishy. Now that he doesn't have Izanami or Vel to work with, it all depends on how his new teammates will perform. Martizi has not played in a while, but when he did, he was always a pretty solid foundational mid laner. Nothing too special, but also tended to not make mistakes. I think Martizi used to play with Todak a long time ago, and then he switched out into Monster Vicious, right? And then like he hasn't played for 1 or 2 seasons because he's been like studying or something. But Martizi, while not the flashiest mid laner, is always the guy that gets the job done. I would actually compare him to Izanami a little bit. Like, he's very good at positioning himself in team fights, playing artillery style mages, and going for zone control rather than solo kills. And I think that could work well with Ivan, because I literally just said that Ivan worked well with Izanami. And then we got Siska. We love Siska. I think a lot of us can agree. Siska has been the diamond in the rough rookie for MPL MY in the past couple of seasons. Out of all the new rookies that have come up of MAL and performed in MPL, I think most of us can agree Siska is the best. This kid can solo carry games as an EXP laner. I think that speaks for itself. And that means that Ivan has a very solid mid and EXP duo to work with. We of course have Zayed as well, who has a pretty good jungler hero pool, but he wasn't the most consistent last season with Todak. But the surprising thing is, Zayed is listed as a sub. Right? Zayed is listed as a sub. The main player is Just Gar. Where is Just Gar from? Let us remember, one day in Season 14, Martizi diffed Stormy. The last time SRG lost was when Martizi was playing. Yup. Very good reminder there, Jero. I think that's a very good proof for anyone watching right now that Martizi is solid. So Just Gar is from Dewa as well, and then before that, Bigatron. Excuse me. So it was previously, yeah, he was also part of the China team, VL. Before that, he was 9th place with Dewa, 5th to 8th place with Bigatron in MDL Season 8. So his performance has not been the best, but he has definitely been playing for a little while now. Yeah, his record starts in 4 years ago. I would say that he might be the only question mark for me in this team. He's the only player that I don't really have a lot of information of. And it is quite surprising that they have him listed as the main roster with Zayed as the sub. Right? We'll have to see exactly how well he'll perform. But I think we can all agree Team Ray has a lot of potential. This is a team with a ridiculous amount of potential. If Juskar can perform, or if Zayed ends up as like the main lineup, I personally think that Team Ray is one of the best teams this season. I will actually put them up here next to Al Combo. They have so much potential. And I'm hoping they live up to that. Because Team Ray for the past couple of seasons has been a team that does well week 1 and 2 and then just falls off the map. for so many seasons. That's been what happened to Team Ray. Week 1, week 2, not bad. Week 3 onwards, but I think this time around they have a lot more to work with, so I'm looking forward to it. Harsha asked, why did Todak lose slot but Team Ray, which is never heard of in any region? Todak, I believe, didn't want to continue anymore. I think they have like different plans as an org moving forward. Okay, I sent my thoughts. I'm a rank now with my peeps. Bye bye. Okay, Zero, thanks for dropping by. Good luck with your rank. Okay, next up, we've got just a couple teams left. RRQ Tora, the brand new branch of the kingdom. We got Coach Sasa and Coach Link. We know Sasa. I remember the name Coach Link, but again, I've forgotten what team he was in before this, so let's have a look at that real quick. Coach Link was with Todak. Really? Oh yeah. Damn, I don't remember. I actually don't remember. Todak was so sus before this. And then before that, RSGPH. I think Coach Link is okay. Like, again, I feel like Todak's drafts were fine. I think we can all remember this thing that was mentioned. Todak had good drafts. The gameplay was just a bit weird. So I do not blame Coach Link for what happened before. And now we've got Coach Sasa as well. But I do know that Coach Sasa has a very strict style of coaching that not a lot of players might be okay with. So that's something we have to consider. So we got Gary, one of our star power players in the jungle from Malaysia. Hasn't been the most consistent overall, but okay enough. And certainly performed with CG last season. I don't have, my only expectation of this man is to improve again on his hero pool, make sure that his retries are more on point, and then he'll retain the solid position that we knew him for back with Team Hack. Ruff is someone I need to talk about. Very high potential as a gold laner from Malaysia, but has very similar issues to Lalil a little while back. He throws. It's a very direct way of saying it, but I think we cannot deny that Ruff has thrown games with his positioning, with his over-eagerness to fight in the late game. This has translated to some very interesting things. For example, I think that last season, Monster Vicious was the best team at executing double fighter side lane outside of SRG because Ruff wants to fight. Right, he's really good at playing fighter gold lanes like Esmeralda because he can just roam around. You will sometimes see him literally invading the opposite side of the jungle from his lane when he's on those type of heroes. But if he's on a marksman, right, he will typically do pretty good. He likes to try and win gold lane if possible. But even if he's ahead, there's a tendency for him to overheat and get caught out in the late game. And marksmen cannot afford to get caught out in the late game because there's just so much comeback potential in the game now. So that's something that Ruff needs to work on. Then we have Dyron. Definitely a well-known name. But I have forgotten which team, as usual. RQ Hoshi, yeah, I figured. So he is being lent over or sent over from the original RQ branch. And then we got Super Yoshi as well from Omega Esports, who got 7th and 8th in the previous 2 seasons of MPL PH. Not too familiar with his style of roaming, I will say. But I think we can look forward to seeing what he's capable of. We know that Dyron is a pretty accomplished EXP laner. And like, I can't remember, oh yeah, Harsha pointed out earlier that he's got a similar playstyle and hero pool to Diablo. So he also leans to the aggro type. So that is one thing to keep in mind. Then we got Kim, which I believe is going to be the main mid laner. He is also the aggro type. Basically, the most vocal mid laner in Malaysia is Kim, without any doubt. He will shout, he will yell, he will exclaim in joy and anger, depending on the situation. And his gameplay is also not bad. It kind of displays it. He actually, while he is more of an aggro player, he's also quite good at doing utility. One of the players that's actually known for playing heroes like Lo Yi. So I have high expectations of Kim. AJ is in the bench. Has a strong hero pool. I think some of his old heroes have returned after the recent patch. At least the possibility of playing them. I remember AJ used to be known for playing Veil when no one else played Veil, and Veil did get buffed, kind of. But I do think that Kim is gonna be on the main lineup mostly. Harsha says Super Yoshi and Dairen are very good individually. Yeah, will the chemistry work out is the question. One thing to note. Most of this team consists of aggro type players. Alright? Ruff wants to win lane. Kim wants to win lane. Dairen wants to win lane. I don't know much about Super Yoshi, but I will presume that he could lean into more of the aggro side as well. Because if you already have so many players that want to play off of the early mid-game tempo, then why not grab a roamer that can do that for you? Gary also is going to be generally quite strong towards the early mid-game side. So I predict RRQ is going to be more of an early game leaning team. I predict this is going to be the team that really wants to mess with you in the first couple of minutes and try to create an advantage ASAP. You know, Super Yoshi, Nats, and Eman are teammates that won MSC. With RSG? Wasn't that Light? Or with a different team? Omega! Oh, with Omega. Okay, I see. Because the one I remember, you know, is like 2021. The one that I casted. No surprise that that's the one I would remember, right? Omega Esports. Did they win MSC? When? Did they win MSC? I don't remember Omega winning MSC. Or am I remembering this wrong? They got third in 2022. Wait, then you're before than Mirko? No, I don't think so. Mirko was around when I started casting, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I don't really remember Super Yoshi. Well, that's fine. Because personally, I am going to put this team very firmly in the middle. I think this is a very solid roster that could have the potential to surprise us, but it all depends on how well the team chemistry actually works together. I think that RRQ can have a strong showing, especially since they've got a good coaching staff. Most of their players like playing in a similar style with solid enough hero pools. I just mainly want Ruff to lock in. I think Ruff needs to lock in. And then we need to see whether the imports can work well with the locals. If they can fix all of those, then RQ Tora has the potential to go far. Lastly, Team Vamos. Our winner of best team roster reveal video. So this is mostly the same team lineup from Vamos before. Right? We got Zorn, we got Chibi, we got Natko, we got Clocken, and we got Error 404. Now we don't know whether Chibi or Error 404 is going to be on the main lineup. Both of them have kind of competed for the spot before. On Liquipedia, it is listed as Error 404, but we all know it's quite easy for Chibi to be subbed in if he's not performing. So we don't know that for sure. The new entries are Zeno and Zeke. I really like Zeke. I personally think that he is the next best rookie after Siska. It's just that he hasn't had the chance to show it off. And I think that the meta shifted away from his style of roaming, which is hyper aggro initiation. He was very good when Badang was meta, but ever since Badang fell off, I think he has had some difficulty keeping up. But now that he's going to be on the same team as Zorn, and it looks like he is on the main lineup as well, I think he'll be able to learn a lot from Zorn. Also, we have a bot in chat. Are our mods around? Super Yoshi is better than JP micro-wise. Really? That good, Harsha? JP is a world champ, you know? But yeah, I think Zkeep has a lot of potential. He works well with Vamos too, because he plays a similar style to Zorn, but I think he's a little bit slower than Zorn, which may not necessarily be a bad thing, because a lot of times Zorn just moves too fast. And then we have Xeno, which is definitely a sandbagger style EXP lane, but is able to lean into the aggro. I would actually say that Xeno is a little bit more capable of playing aggro compared to Smooth. So I think there's a chance that Xeno might fit into Team Vamos a little bit better than Smooth as well. We already know that Vamos has a tenured history. They have a lot of experience as a team together, though they do have some new faces. That means that they're gonna need to figure out that chemistry from the start once again. I also think that Natko is in aggro, while is a little bit more of an in-between, right? He's a bit of an in-between farmer and aggro gold laner. Sometimes he can aggro, sometimes he can farm. I do think he leans a little bit more towards aggro though, so he's quite good at playing fighter gold lanes as well, though not quite as aggressive as Ruff, for example, which means that he fits well with Team Vamos, but it also means that they generally have a bit of a timer on their heads because they're not quite as good at playing for late game. Even though their macro is there, their team composition typically isn't the most suited for longer games. Looks like our mods are not around, so let me go ahead and ban the bot myself. Oh wait, no. The bot is not in chat. It was actually, it shows in my chat, but it's actually restricted by Twitch. I just realized. So it's showing to me, but not to anyone else. I guess that's fine then. And then the coaching staff for Team Vamos looks to be the same, right? We got Pak Vet, Pak Atan, but we've also got one more new person. I don't think Coach Valdo was here before. Coach Valdo was with Evos before. Okay, okay. So we've got some new faces on Team Vamos. But I think I can also quite safely put them in the center right here. I think this makes sense. If there's anything I would swap, it would be VTR Vamos. Let me have a look at VTR again. No, I think I'm okay with where this is. JP individual skill is lower than so many MPL PH roamers. I guess so, but he knows where he needs to be on the map. So I guess that macro sense makes the difference. Look at every import in MPL, PH, ID, and MY. All are Indonesia? No, we've got plenty of PH imports. Now, of course, I did kind of skip over SRG because I just put them at the very top, but I don't really think this team needs much introduction anyway. It's the same lineup, same coaching staff, and now they have Uni as well, just in case Skies is not performing. Or if they need someone with Uni's hero pool to come in and take over. I think we can all agree this team will 99% be champion again. I really don't think I need to talk about them very much because yeah, it's the same roster. So yeah, I think this is a pretty good list. I think I'm quite happy with the positioning of the teams here. SRG is of course our most likely candidate for #1. All Combo and Team Ray have a lot of potential in their roster. Their players are good, their coaching staffs are good, the chemistry makes sense on paper, so I think they have a very good chance of being top 3, top 4 at least. RQ, Tora, and Vamos have experienced players, overall solid rosters, maybe not quite as flashy or doesn't stick out as much in terms of team chemistry compared to All Combo and Team Ray, but I think are good enough based off of their experience to be able to remain safely in playoffs range. Then we got BTR and Invictus. I think BTR has the chance to most likely fulfill the role of Dark Horse, right? I think this is a team whose chemistry will make or break them, and we will see it straight from the first couple of weeks. If BTR performs well, then their ranking could maybe shoot up all the way over here. But since we don't know that right now, I think they're quite safe to be put in the Dark Horse section. In comparison, I think Invictus Gaming has a lot more work to do. I really like their coaching staff, but a lot of their players can be inconsistent at times and doesn't have the best synergy on paper. So they will really need to figure out how they want to play together, and they have the chance of moving up. But right now, I will put them on the lower end of the spectrum because I just do not know, and I don't get a lot of confidence. And then we've got Team Flash at the very bottom, largely due to the fact that a lot of their players are either new or have no experience playing together at all. Not to mention that hero pool will become a problem for players like Diablo and Curtizi. And of course, we've got the MAL players as well that are largely unproven on the big stage. So I think while it is a bit unfortunate, it's quite safe to put them at the very bottom. Obviously, every time I do one of these lists, I end up being proven pretty wrong by the time the season ends. And considering that this time around the season is going to be 8 weeks long, there's an even higher chance that my rankings are going to be incorrect in some way or another. So we will all hold our breath. We will wait and see what happens. I think a lot of us are going to be very excited about what happens next when it comes to MPL Malaysia Season 17. But for now, this is Sdafa's pre-season team ranking. Yeah, a lot of things can change near the end of the season once they get used to each other. Exactly. We do these pre-season rankings because it's interesting to see our thoughts. But we all know that they're probably not going to be accurate. And if they are, it's probably down to luck a little bit. Like Todak last season? Oh boy. Sad no Zion Senpoi though? Yeah, there's honestly a lot of like familiar names that are just not around for this season because as we know, the team count got cut down by 2. Right? So there's 2 full team rosters worth of players that weren't able to make it into this season's lineups. Not to mention lots of international orgs bringing in imports and stuff too. I'm ready for MPL MY. Are they ready to entertain us? I think so. We already know the starting date as well. It was revealed on the website through the schedule to be the very first week of April. So MPL MY will actually start in 3 weeks. Man, that's very soon. I really need to take a rest before that happens. And then if I'm not wrong, next week MPL PH starts, right? MPL PH starts next week, then MPL ID starts the week after, and then MPL MY starts the week after that. So we are going to be very entertained from next weekend onwards. And we'll actually get to see what the pro meta is now as well. So let me go ahead and take a screenshot of this real quick so that I can post it later and get people talking a little bit. I imagine that some of the other coaches slash players slash KOLs will have probably made their own tier lists as well. Kind of curious how I compare. Did I post my patch note tier list? Yes. Yes, I did. I just posted it like earlier today, actually. How did that do? Well, I only posted it earlier today, so I don't know how well it's done. On my page, it usually gets a less traction compared to when it's on the MPL MY official group. I don't think they've actually approved it yet. It feels like the MPL MY official group has gotten a little bit more strict with their posting recently, because some of the stuff that I used to post, like when I share videos or talk about certain things, it usually got approved in the past. It doesn't anymore. Now they actually reject it. So I'm a bit curious. But I did also post it on TikTok. It usually does better on TikTok. Though again, I only posted it a few hours ago, so the numbers are probably still low right now. We will see if it blows up overnight or not, because that is usually defector, right? The difference between it getting a few thousand views or like a couple 100,000 views is whether or not it blows up by the next day. If it doesn't blow up by the next day, it'll probably hover at like 10k max. You are showing contact info? I mean, it's on my Facebook page. if like it's literally there so that people can contact me if they want to, you know, if they want to hire me for anything. So that's not too unusual. The Marcel one is 2k, which is kind of impressive. Yeah, the YouTube video, right? That is kind of impressive. You know what's also impressive? The fudging 1 hour 47 minute patch note review. What the fudge? Anyways, I think that is basically it for our tier list today. So I'll go ahead and post this. The thumbnail is goated in the Marcel video. I guess it just worked out, huh? Because again, I don't think it's too different from the other thumbnails I've done, but I guess it's because I'm doing a pog face. Right? The thing is, I've probably done pog faces before. Like here, this like reacting to Revamp Freya. I've done the face. You never really know. Sometimes YouTube just picks stuff up on the algorithm, I guess. I do think my thumbnails have been slowly improving though. I think the more recent ones definitely look better than some of the earlier ones because, you know, I've just been slowly learning like some more like graphical styles and things. The Freya one doesn't have hands. That's the reason, huh? I need my hands in the thumbnail. People don't click on the video unless my hands are in the thumbnail. Of course, I should have known. What are your thoughts on the new hero? I feel he gets cooked by true damage and he's too squishy. He is very squishy, and because of that, you need to play him in a certain way. My personal thoughts, I really like him. I think that MLBB has done a good job in terms of hero design this time around. Because he is a hero that needs to be played in a very unique way with abilities that interact with MLBB mechanics in a way that no other hero does. And he's difficult to play properly, not because his mechanics are difficult or like he needs a lot of like fast finger skill to play, but because you need to be smart and you need to be able to play around your team properly. There are not a lot of heroes that play like this in MLBB. And I wish there were, because he's so unique. The more unique a hero is, the more interesting it is to watch, the more interesting it is to play, the more interesting it is to cast. So personally, I really like Marcel. He is definitely not going to be popular in pubs, because you need to be good at him to play him in a very different way than it means to be good at like Gusion or Fanny, for example. So yeah, I think he's great. I think he's perfectly I think he's in a very good place. I don't think he's too OP. I don't think he's too weak. I personally still think his passive is kind of ridiculous. His ult is too niche, only Granger and Chang'e can benefit from it. Beatrix. Selena. Novaria. Allow your horizons to expand, my good sir. He doesn't only benefit heroes who can stack projectiles inside the freeze. He can benefit any hero that needs time to set up. Yeah, Gwyn can do well, but again, it depends on how well you play him. Because if you play him badly, it doesn't matter who works with him. You will still get effed. Granger and Chang'e, yeah, definitely they can work with him by stacking up their projectiles inside the freeze. But if Marcel messes up and freezes Dem instead, then he's also not good, right? It is very, very skill-based. It rewards creative thinking, good team communication, and smart macro positioning. And again, not a lot of heroes in MLBB do that. So I think a lot of players are going to think that Marcel is weak. Like, I'm pretty sure a big amount of the public sentiment is actually going to think, oh, Marcel's a bad hero. He's so weak. He keeps griefing my games. And I think that's the intent. His ult is kind of situational. It's like we're giving enemies to reach their skill cooldowns. Exactly. His ult is one of the biggest double-edged swords in the entire game. Marcel's ult is the definition of a double-edged sword in MLBB. If you play it correctly, it's one of the best abilities in the game. If you play it wrong, oh, it griefs you so hard. I just realized I accidentally put the fudging live logo in the video thumbnail. That is not supposed to be there. I'm gonna need to remove that. That's supposed to only be there on the live streams, not the video. Yeah, I need to remove that. But anyway, I said that I wanted to not stream as long today, but lo and behold, it's almost midnight already again. Well, it still technically is shorter than usual, though I've been live for 2 hours, just like that. Stream time passes when you're doing something. But yeah, after this stream, I don't think we will have too much to stream anymore. At least until MPL starts, right? We've already got all of the MPL team rosters. The patch note has dropped. We've already got most of the announcements, including the venue and the schedule for MPL. By the way, venue is back in Quill City Mall, people. They just announced it not too long ago. Back to where I began. Is that where I began? Not really, no. That was like season 8. Quill City Mall was season 8 until season 10. But those were some of my first seasons as well. So it's back to the old place, but in a different form. Because the convention center hall that we used to host MPL in looks different now. For those of you who are not aware, it is the same venue as IESF. It is the same venue that we had for IESF. So you will recognize it. It's a pretty cool setup. But the talent room is kind of small. Unless they make a new talent room. I hope that we get a new talent room. Dewan Sariputra had a really nice talent room last season. They literally set up a room outside the stadium for us, and it was so spacious. Man. You've been 1 hour 15 minutes? Yeah, definitely. But we don't have rank headaches just discussing stream. Yeah, it's more chill. You know, we get to talk about things. I get to analyze, you know? I get to do my job as a caster and analyze rather than breaking my brain playing ranked. I heard something about franchising of teams in Malaysia. What does that do for them? Okay, so we are not franchised. The rumors were that we would be franchising for a very long time because MPL ID and MPL PH are franchised, but we are not franchised. We are a partnership program. Your next question is going to be, okay, what does a partnership program mean for the teams then? My answer to that would be, I do not know. In case you're asking what franchising itself means, it typically means that the teams have to buy slots, but it also means that there is no risk of like any sort of relegation. When you buy the slot, you have the slot fixed. It's meant to promote like team loyalty and fan subscription. I don't really know how our partnership program works though. Because they've already mentioned multiple times, it is not a franchise. So I don't know the specifics. But yeah, alright. I do want to take a rest. And when I say I want to rest, I do mean I want to rest for a while. I said that I was going to go on break, that I would take it more free and easy. And technically I did stream less this week because the streams are shorter. But I still did stream 2 times this week, which is the regular amount that I end up streaming anyway, even though I'm supposed to be on break. So, considering that we should have no further announcements from MPL from next week onwards, I think it will be a good time for me to actually go ahead and rest. Like, actually rest. For at least a week. I think I should at least try to take a week off. Especially since MPL is starting in like 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks. MPL MY is starting in 3 weeks. MPL PH is starting next week. So that's a lot of stuff coming up, which means I need to be rested. Plus now it's 8 weeks of MPL, man. It's 8 weeks of MPL. I'm gonna be so tired. I'm working full time. It's a good thing I'm working from home at least. If I was not working from home, I would actually die. I don't know if I acknowledged the hydration, but thank you for the hydration, Darren. I did hydrate. 8 weeks work of pay. True. That is true. By the way, in case you guys didn't notice this, there is a slight shift in the schedule as well. If you guys remember, up until now, MPL has been Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 2 games Friday, 3 games on Saturday and Sunday. If you look at the schedule now, only Saturday has 3 games. Friday and Sunday have 2 each. So Sunday is now also a shorter day. Now it looks like a middle finger on the side. Yes, I guess so. Honestly, I kind of appreciate this. I do actually think this is good. Because if anyone is like in the past, if anyone was casting Saturday and Sunday, they would have to cast longer than the people casting Friday and Saturday. So now it's a little bit more fair. And I think it helps a lot because if I am casting on Sunday, then at least I don't have to cast as long. What I kind of wish is that that Sunday's games started earlier. You know, because I noticed now that Sunday's games start at 2:30 and 5 instead of Friday's. Wait, hold on. What? 8? Is that? That's fixed. Oh! Wait! Games don't start in the morning anymore. They used to start in the morning, or at least at noon. Right? Usually when on Saturday and Sunday, the games would start around noon. They start at 2:30 now. And Friday starts at 5. Oh, shit. Well, I guess Sunday does actually end earlier then. I guess I should be happy about that. Oh my god, 8 PM games, dude. Oh shit. I guess at least we don't have to wake up as early. It means that our call time will be later. Good night, Dodo. I'm asleep now as today is World Sleep Day. Is that so? Well, I'll take your word for it. Have a good night, Harsha. Thanks for dropping by. Wow. I didn't know that matches started later for us now too. Damn. Okay, what are the games on week 1? SRG versus Vamos to start things off. We don't have CG anymore, so they have to do the next best thing. If you guys remember, typically the first game of the season is the grand finals rematch. It has always been that way, but we do not have the grand finalist anymore. CG is gone. And we do not even have third place because Monster Vicious is also gone. So we can only get Vamos, who I think was 4th. Was Vamos 4th last season? I think they were. SRG versus Vamos, RRQ versus Team Ray. And we got IG versus Vitality, All Combo versus Flash. Does every team play on week 1? That's my question. Are there any teams who don't get to play on week 1? Do we at least get to see each team play once? That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So every team does get to play at least once. Okay, that's good. In fact, most teams play twice. I think there's like only 1 or 2 teams that don't play twice. Yeah. Team Vamos and IG. Team Vamos and IG are the only teams that play once. Okay, okay. Man, it really is a new era. Alright then. I guess it's starting later on Friday also works out for me, because if I do end up casting on Friday, then I can ask to work half day on Friday. Like if it still started around like noon, I probably would have to get the whole day off. But since the call time is probably somewhere around 2 PM, I can probably still work half day. So that I don't take too many off days. Hehe. Hello James, welcome, welcome. I'm about to end the stream. It's about to be midnight, so I think I'm about to close things out. So once again, as a reminder to everyone, I am going to be taking a break from streaming. I was already supposed to be taking a break, but I went ahead and went live twice this week anyway. But starting from after this stream, I'm going to be taking the entirety of next week off. I'm going to take the entirety of next week off. And then depending on whether or not I feel refreshed enough, I might take 1 more. But I will try not to go further than that. No matter what, I will try not to rest for more than 2 weeks. If I do rest for 2 weeks, then the week I come back is the week that MPL starts anyway, so that kind of works out. But yeah, I don't think there should be anything else that's important enough for me to go live for. So it might be a little while before you guys see me on stream again, but I do think it's very necessary for myself. I've been tired, I've been a little stressed here and there. I need some time to just completely decompress and play whatever the fudge I want without thinking about going live and stuff or making content about it. And after that, I can come back, prepare for MPL, and hopefully be refreshed, because I am going to need that energy. If I still want to do things like recording vlogs and editing them, then it's going to be very hard for me to do so when I'm working. Ah, man. I don't know how I'm gonna do the recaps as well. I feel like I'm gonna change the way I do recaps this season. You know, the weekly recaps that I did the past couple seasons? Those take a good amount of editing, and I don't think I have enough time to do that anymore. So I'll need to change the way I do it, I feel like. 3 minutes also too short. The reason I make it 3 minutes is so that it can fit as a YouTube short. YouTube shorts have like a maximum duration. Rest well, Dodo, thank you. The number of games didn't increase. No, actually the number of games decreased. Remember? Before this, every week had 8 matches. Now it has 7. So technically we have less matches, which I guess is good. Yeah, so 3 minutes should be enough. But even then, like, it took a lot of work because I had to like record clips from the games and stuff, and then like actually edit them together in a proper timing. So We'll see. We'll see what happens. I already feel tired thinking about it. I need a rest. I need a break, guys. So I will be taking one. So I'd like to say thanks to all of you who continue supporting the Dodo channel despite the scuffness of everything. I know that the past couple months have not been the cleanest in terms of streaming. The fatigue has been catching up. The stress of actually like working and streaming and wanting to still play my games has really been catching up to me. But I appreciate you guys still sticking around regardless of all of that. Normally the risk from a streamer of taking an extended break is the reduction in what's the word? I forgot the word. But basically, like, people might drop off your stream if you're not active enough on it. So I've always been hesitant about taking breaks, because the last time I took a very long extended break, you know, after I stopped streaming Arknights, I had to basically restart from scratch viewership wise. But this time around it's obviously not going to be as long, and I also feel better about doing it because I know you guys will still be around, and that means a lot to me, honestly. Right? I've said this many times and I'll continue saying it. I really appreciate you guys dropping by and watching all the time. It makes the streaming process a lot more entertaining, even if it is a tiring thing. And yeah, you know, gives this Dodo validation. And we all need some validation in life, don't we? So yeah, I'm very thankful to y'all for not just being willing to let me take a break, but actually straight up telling me to go take a break. I appreciate that a lot. So for those of you, again, who are not aware, I'm going to be taking a break. It'll be, from now on, I will probably not be live for at least 1 week. I will let you guys know if I feel like I want to extend it. There is a chance I might extend it to 2 weeks, because I feel like I'll want to take like 1 week to decompress, and then 1 more week to maybe like work on upgrading the stream a little bit with bots and stuff. But that one we can discuss in Discord. I'm always around. Yep, I appreciate that a lot, Lilo. Honestly. Please show your appreciation by adding a 0 in my Dodo dollars. How do I do that even? I know that like there's probably a way for me to give out the dollars, but I don't actually know how to do it. So you'll just have to accept my gratitude for now. But for those of you who haven't, please make sure to join the Discord server, because that is where I will let you guys know if I'm going live or not. And in this case, let you guys know when I will decide to come back to live streaming again. For those of you who haven't as well, please drop a like, follow, and subscribe on my socials. I'm always live every Tuesday and Thursday normally on Twitch and YouTube. But of course, I'm going to be taking a break for a little while. So make sure to subscribe so that you guys know when I am back. And then I also have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and the Discord server I mentioned earlier. So any follows on those will be much appreciated. Thank you everyone for the support so far. I can't have Darren richer than me. I'm trying to hold a monopoly here, I see. Alright, I will keep that in mind. But yes, with that, it is 3 minutes to midnight. I think it's a good time for us to finish things off. See ya, Dodo. See you as well, Nash. Thanks for dropping by today. Thank you everyone for dropping by today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will still be in Discord. I will not disappear. Like I mentioned before, I'm perpetually online after all. I will still be talking about things in Discord, sharing things that happen. You know, so don't worry, I will not be gone. You guys just won't see this face for a little while. So yeah, thank you everyone for dropping by today. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in a week, in 2 weeks, depending on how things go. Make sure to keep an eye out on Discord. I guess I should go and grab Dodo, since this will be the last time we're live for a little while. So we'd better get the mascot on camera for once. And yes, let's talk about something more important. Why are you so good looking? I don't know how to respond to that. That definitely catches me off guard a little bit. I don't think I'm particularly good looking. I don't think I'm bad looking, but I don't think I'm good looking. a curious thing indeed. Ah, so Dodo, so looking so good. Very, very interesting. You are adorable. You know what? I've heard that one a lot. I've not been told much that I'm good looking, but I've definitely been told that I'm cute. And in the past, I used to be like, but I don't want to be cute, you know? I'd rather be good looking. And nowadays, I've just kind of accepted the fact that my appearance leans more to cute. So, well, what can I do? I'm not cute anymore. Oh, don't say that. We're all cute on the inside. What the hell am I reading? I don't know, Rice. I was gonna end the stream and then we started talking about me being cute or something. But yes, okay, I'm not gonna delay this for too much longer. I really want to rest. I had a slightly stressful day of work today. Some stuff was not working, but we were able to fix it right towards the end, so lucky that. But it also means that I am tired. And so, it is time for this dodo to finally rest. It still feels like a very weird thing to do. Streamer says he's stressed at work because a lot of women are asking him out. What a flex. I'm pretty sure you appended that back end. Also, I work from home. There is no one asking me out here. But yes, okay. If you guys haven't, do check out my patch note tier list on TikTok or anywhere, you know. Some interaction always helps, some engagement. Engagement, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah, some engagement always helps. If you guys could like, comment, you know, a little bit of that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a little bit. I didn't know you were engaged. Okay, you're getting Okay, I'm leaving, everyone. You know what? Yeah, that's why I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break to get engaged to my anime waifus. Yeah, definitely. That's the purpose of this now. Yeah, I'll see you guys after the wedding. Okay, bye bye everyone. Have a very good night. Thank you all for dropping by. Thank you for making the streams fun, for highlighting the chat. Literally, we're not invited. Yeah, I'll set up a camera to stream the anime wedding to you guys. Yeah. This is derailing. Yeah, time to go, everyone. Time to go. All right. I'll see you guys in Discord. Don't worry. You guys can still reach out to me to chat if necessary. And if there is like something really, really important to stream for whatever reason, maybe I'll come live. But I think I do want to try and make sure I actually get some rest. So I will do that. Alright? Once again, for the last time, thank you everyone for dropping by the stream today. I'll see you guys in a week or two. And I hope that everyone will be excited for when MPL starts off. MPL PH literally starts soon, so we can all catch that together as well on Discord or something. And yeah, have a very good night everyone. Bye bye. Here is the dodo in all his flightless glory. Wishing y'all a good night, and I will see you guys on the next stream, whenever that may be. Bye bye everyone. Good night. Bye bye.